Have you seen that iconic photo of Muhammad Ali with his fist in the air and his opponent on the floor? You remember that? But do you know who took that photo? Oh, wait, what about Yuvraj Singh hitting that six sixes? Or this, I'm sure you will know, the most iconic photo of Michael Jordan. But do you remember who took that photo? What I feel is, the most common between all of these photos is that everybody remembers the photo, when you talk about it, it's just right in front of their eyes. But nobody knows who took that photo or even digs deeper to find out who took that photo. So, according to me, I think sports photography is, not just capturing the exact action, but also a lot of emotion and the timing and everything that goes along with it. Basketball is something that has been a part of me since so many years, I think more than a decade right now. I started off as a player. I've played a couple of nationals. I've represented Karnataka. And then the love for basketball is what helped me gain passion for photography as well. So I wanted to give back to the sport in one way or the other. So that's how I started pursuing sports photography. Actually, I wasn't very sure that I wanted to do photography in general. I did a triple major in journalism, psychology and literature. And in my journalism course, I had one elective where I had to choose between copyright and photography as my elective. And I just wanted to dabble my hand at photography. And I was just pointing and clicking, but I felt like my frames were right and there was something right about the photograph as such. So my interest grew a lot in that elective, and once I finished that elective, I think I finally realized this is something that I want to pursue further after my graduation. So I went ahead to do photojournalism. The thing is, my course, I did photojournalism. I actually wanted to do photography, but I did photojournalism because my mom was like, photography, what are you going to do? Photojournalism has that, saying, oh, she's a photojournalist. That's a big deal. So at least for her sake, I did photojournalism.
I always wanted her to get into journalism more than photography. But once she got into journalism and she got the nuances in terms of what she's going to get into, she immediately made up her mind to say, okay, this is something that maybe it's not cut out for me, which I don't think I can ever confine her to. And it's not just about holding a camera, clicking pictures. She looks at all the finer details in terms of where the picture has to be perfect. So that's when I realized that is something that I can never take it out from her. And then I said, okay, go ahead, pursue. I think one thing which I'm really very proud about is what she's created, or the identity that she's created for herself. When she was in school, she was so daring and she was so filled with confidence in terms of whatever she did. She said, okay, I want to pursue sports. I had this question saying, are you sure you want to not focus on your studies and continue with sports? She said, Mama, that is not going to change. I will continue to study, but I will also pursue, sports.
Hi, I am Shireen Limai. I'm an international basketball player as well as the captain of the Indian women's basketball team.
The mind left wide open and drills the three-pointer. I mean, is she carrying her team or what? What an inspiration.
I still remember the first time I saw her. I think it was in 2011. She was very scared of me the first time because I had already played for India and I was kind of intimidating, and I will not blame her for that. And ever since 2011, we have been really close friends for a decade now, basically. I still remember in 2017 we were playing a match against Kazakhstan in Bangalore, and she had come to watch. She was sitting in the audience. And I shot the buzzer beater and we won the game. I still remember the dance that she did sitting in the stands, and I was really happy to see her like that, as well as it was extremely hilarious. And every time we watch that game with anybody else, I always tell her that that's my best friend.
I interned in newspaper in Bangalore, and I think that gave me a very good exposure of how it is to be a photojournalist. But there's also a lot of limitations as such, if I can say, because they did not send me to a lot of assignments being a woman. Okay, they restricted me a lot because either because it was too late, or there were too many people, or there was so much crowd that I wouldn't be able to handle myself. Because I remember going to one assignment, it was a political rally assignment, and I was the only female there, and I had to push my way through to get a photograph, and I had to get a photograph because I was an assignment and I had to submit something. So I think it was a task, and what pushed me out, didn't want me to pursue this, was that if I was going to be limited in them sending me out for assignments, then I think this is not something that I want to do. Because as an organization, if they encouraged me to push me and send me assignments, let me try it out, I think I would have probably been interested. But this put me off on a whole other level, saying if there was another assignment that I was really interested at and they didn't send me to it because I was a woman or because I couldn't handle it, I don't think I could handle it.
I am extremely proud that she took up this field as her career, and she has just grown for the last 4 years. I still remember in 2019 she was the main photographer for the FIBA Asia event, and I used to tell everybody that that's my best friend. She's a photographer, so, and y'all are not gonna get any photos. She's gonna click only my photos. I used to brag about her all the time.
So it was the 61st Senior Nationals that happened in Chennai, and this was a large-scale event where even the Indian players from men and women were going to be there. Tamil Nadu did this tournament on a large scale, like they went all out. They put in everything that they had for the tournament. So they had fireworks, and they had confetti and the crowd and everything that they needed in Chennai style. So they did the tournament, and during that host game, there was a lot of media covering the matches as well. And when I was moving around the court, I had like 2 huge lenses with me and walking around. I am not kidding, but I literally saw people looking at me up and down, saying, "What is she doing?" I had that gaze as well, and then I had another gaze where they're like, "Wow, look at her!" Like I had one photographer who came up to me and also said, "Ma'am, I have huge respect for you because first of all, you're carrying 2 heavy lenses, and look at you walking around like a boss in the court and shooting." And I think that gave me like a boost of confidence and everything. And after that, there was a lot of photographers who came up to me and said, "Where are you from?" They spoke to me. But there was also a media organization where they were like, "Can you please move? Like, who are you? Just move. You're covering our this thing." So I think that was very unique experience, and I think my dad saw it as well. Like, the photo that you saw was taken by my dad, and he's like, the thing that he said is, "Look at our girl covering the tournament amongst men." So I think that made all the difference. I think that tournament was like a changing point for me in pursuing this.
I think that those questions will always keep propping up. But I have been a fearless woman. I mean, all through my life. So I don't think I've ever let anybody dictate or dominate or tell me what I need to do in life. So likewise, I think I certainly, whether people liked it or not, I shut them up and I said it's her life. I know what she wants to do in life, and I would encourage her. And of course, I know she's going to be taking the right path, and let her follow her dreams.
To my luck or fortune, FIBA, the international organization, came up with a program where it was to promote female sports photographers around the world. And I got selected, and there were only 35 people around the world selected for this program. So there were 3 photographers who took the workshop. That was Milad, Sonia and Ricardo. Sonia is also one of a really big FIBA photographer, and I think she is an inspiration. She became an inspiration during the workshop. She's covered a lot of football matches which happen in Spain, and they're known for their football. She showed us so many images where she's the only female with a group of men, and it's not like she didn't take it as a challenge as such, but she was very confident in her work. So I think that's what inspired me, saying it doesn't matter whether you're the only female and it's whether it'll put you down or whatever it is, but I think that inspired me, saying it's your work. If you're good at your work, you will excel. So that's the thing. And then I met people in this FIBA photography program, and that was completely different because it was the same story for all of them in their own countries. I made a lot of friends. I made friends from Lebanon, I made friends from New Zealand, I made friends from Australia. So there were women from all over Asia, Oceania and US and Europe. And then we started following each other's work and, commenting, encouraging each other. Some of them commented saying, this is how you can do better, this is how you can change things. And I think that's really changed my perspective in a lot of ways. I think if there was something that I wanted to do in photography is give back to the game, because I think when I was at my lowest, I've performed my best on court. So I think that was something that basketball's always been. So if I'm on court, I do not think about anything at all.
Okay, I don't know if Pratiksha has told this to you. I think, as a team, I would say, me and Pratiksha have seen the toughest past of our life. I mean, our past has been so bad. I was a single parent for a long period of time. And, there have been days when we just survived on a pani puri plate and said, okay, let's sail through this day. Tomorrow is another beginning. And there have been times, and I need to admit, there have been days and there have been times when I thought that, I'm not going to head anywhere, and this kid is not going to have any future. I don't want to ruin her future. So I also need to admit that there has been a day in my life when I just took her to a place and I said, okay, I'm going to end my life. But she looked at me as a kid, she looked at me and she said, Mama, life is so beautiful. And that sentence changed my entire outlook. And I said, I'm going to live for this girl. and I'm going to make her journey the most beautiful one. God's grace, things have just turned beautiful, and there's no looking back. I think we've sailed it together, and thanks to my husband, thanks to his family, they've supported us, they've encouraged us, and I think my parents, they've been like rock solid behind us. And I wish and pray that she gets there, that she is one who's recognized all across, not just in our country but across the globe. I'm hoping and praying that that happens.